What this have caused is simple. You are all in the business. If there is enough demand and no supply, what will happen is that the price of land will increase dramatically and out proportional. It's not proportional at all. I'll give you an example. In Ramallah, not yet in the heart of Ramallah, there is still a piece of land where you can buy it with $6 million per dunum, $6,000 per meter square. If you go to Al Masyon area where our office is located, it's now around $1.5 million per dunum. So to build an office for me, I need to pay at least for that piece of land $1.5 million. And you're talking about a country with a GDP per capita of $1,300 per capita. It's extremely low. I don't know, compared to Israel will be 1 to 18 or 1 to 20. And still we are paying millions of dollars for a piece of land. If it's residential, where I live, it will cost a dunum around $600,000 to build your own house or building or whatever. This is basically what's happening, and this is becoming a force preventing people from investing in the heart of the cities or wherever it's available, because the land is not very much available and it's very, very expensive. Bearing in mind that the municipal law does not allow generally to build more than 6-floor or 4-floor buildings. Not 20 like Tel Aviv or 23. Only recently, in the last 7-8 years, the late Abu Ammar have decided to change the law in Ramallah in particular, but maybe other places. And he asked them to change the law to allow the municipality to present licenses for 24, 25, 30 floor buildings. And now we have around, I would say, between 30 to 40 buildings that are above 20 floor buildings, 20 floor each of them. This is the only way where the price of land will be at least acceptable, either for housing or for commercial buildings. And just to compare a note for you, because you're not very much aware of what we pay in general, but for example, our office, the rentals in our area is $150 to $200 per square meter for commercial buildings. So if you want to have an office, so you pay around, I would say, 500 to 700 shekels per square meter for an office building. And if you want to buy it, you have to pay something between $1,200 to $500 per square meter. That's the average price in order. We had to buy an office in a building that costed us $2.5 million actually to operate. This is too high for a GDP per capita that we have, and the main reason for that is lack of availability of land in Area C around the city and sometimes in the heart of the city. However, there are other problems, among which the policy of how to utilize and use government land. It's not just because most of the government land is in the hand of the Israelis, but also even those which are in the hand of the Palestinian Authority, we didn't have any regulation or law that will define how the government will make it affordable for housing or for commercial or for any project. So there is no such policy at the moment, and no process, transparent, clear process of transferring public land into private use or into public use, but by private companies and so on. Also, one of the main problems that we had in the last few years was the mortgage. Political risk is extremely high in the West Bank and in Gaza. And mortgage, if you want to have mortgage for 20 or 25 years, you should have either deposits of that long, like pension funds and so on, which is not available, or you have to have some guarantees associated with banks operating in Europe or in Jordan or in the Arab world who can provide such a long-term mortgage. Only, I would say, in the year 2005, 2006, only 5 years ago, banks have started providing loans that are beyond 5 to 7 years. So now we can have a mortgage of 20 years, 25 years, with a price of around, let's say, 6.5% or 7% on dollar terms. However, this is only available in the last few years, and it was not possible. People had to pay cash to build their houses or their buildings before. It was a cash economy when it comes to housing. And just to give you a little detail, because this have started recently, I've seen the figures today of 2008, 2009, 2010 of the banking sector. we are basically loans provided for housing purposes in the banks are in the range of $200 million only total. 200 were given around in the year 2008, 220 in the year 2009, and 290 in 2010. But although it's increasing, however, still the contribution of that amount